Welcome to Java interview question and answer part 4. This is Haradhan here once again as usual. Today I will cover 25 interview question and answers from OPS concept. Hope you are watching my videos and enjoying them. In case you are enjoying them, do not forget to like and share my videos. Kindly do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notification as and when I will upload any new videos. Do not forget to provide your valuable comment for any input or suggestion. Stay tuned for my next video. In this video, I will discuss 25 Java interview question and answer which are specific from OPS concept only. In my last 3 videos, I have published total 75 question and answer from Java. Here you will also get 25 another questions specific from OPS concept. What is method overriding or runtime polymorphism in Java? If subclass or child class has the same method as declared in the parent class, then it is known as method overriding in Java. Why it is called method overriding? Because you are inheriting your parent class to your child class, but in the parent class and child class have the same method or same variables, and if you want to use those method in your child class, then method or variables from the parent class will be override and your child class will be taken into the consideration. That is it is known as method overriding. When a method in subclass has the same name, same parameter or signature and same return type or subtype as a method in a superclass, then the method in the subclass is said to override the method in the superclass. Constructor cannot be overridden. A method declared as final cannot be also overridden. Static method cannot be overridden. It is because the static method is bound with class, whereas instance method is bound with an object. Here I have given a simple example here. Suppose one class I am creating human class where I am creating a function called eating, and where I want to print something, and I am creating another class girls which is extending to human, and I am here also I am adding same method name as eat and same method type as public, where output will be different. Now if I want to create an object of the child class in the main functions which is girls, and if I want to call the that method which is available both in parent and child class, you can see the whatever output is displayed in the child class, it will be displayed, but the parent class it will override. So that is the importance of method overriding. Can we achieve polymorphism through data member? No, polymorphism is always achieved via behavior of an object only. Properties on object do not play any role in case of polymorphism. What is upcasting in Java? Whenever we put the reference ID of a child class or subclass object into the parent class or base class reference variable is known as upcasting in Java. Here you can see I am using the parent class and I am creating an object or reference for the parent class, but I am using the reference ID of the child class using the new keyword. So that is called upcasting. So using the reference ID of the child class, you can create an object or instance of the parent class, and so this is known as upcasting. What are the basic difference have between the method overloading and overriding? So method overloading, in case of method overloading, signature of the method changes, where we can pass different type of parameter, we can also vary the different type of variables, number of variables, number of argument, number of parameter we can vary. But while in case of method overriding, it should remain the same. Both the method name and variable name should be same in the parent and child class. Through method overloading, we can overload method in one class, and method overriding, it's only done in the subclass. For method overloading, we can do overload for static, final and private method in Java, but for method overriding, it is not possible to override a static, final and private methods. Overloaded method in Java is bounded by static binding, and overriding methods are subject to dynamic binding. That is the reasons overloaded is also called as compile time polymorphisms, whereas method overriding is called as runtime polymorphism. What is static and dynamic binding? Static binding type of object is determined at the compile time, whereas dynamic binding type of an object is determined at the run time. What is the difference between object oriented programming language and object based programming language? So you know Java is an OPS concept, right? Object oriented programming language like C++, okay, which follows the concept of OPS like encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism and inheritance, etc. Whereas object based programming language follows some features of OPS, but they do not provide support for inheritance and polymorphism. Okay, that is the main difference. So the object based programming language, though it's support encapsulation and abstraction, but they do not support inheritance and polymorphism. Example of object based programming language is JavaScript, VBScript. What are the rules of method overloading and overriding in Java? One of the most important rule of method overloading in Java is that method signatures should be different. Either number of arguments or the type of argument should vary, right? Simply changing the return type of two method will not result in overloading. Instead, the compiler will throw an error. So whenever we are dealing with the method overloading, we need to either change the number of argument or type of argument, but we can't simply change the return type. So in case we are changing it, so it will throw some compilation error. On the other hand, method overriding has more rules. Example, name and return type must be same. Method signature also be same. The overloaded methods cannot throw a higher exception, etc. What is abstraction in Java? Abstraction is the process of hiding implementation detail and showing only functionality to the users. Okay, here I have given some examples. Suppose whenever we want to send an SMS, right? Okay, we need to type the text and then we need to send the SMS. So we do not know the internal processing, right? But we used to send the SMS and some intended recipients used to get the SMS. So without knowing the internal logic, we can send or receive the SMS. So that is the called abstraction, where the process of sending is hiding, right? But we can do the work, right? We can send the message and we can get the message. Abstraction focuses on what the object does instead of how it does, right? A class which is declared with the abstract keyword is known as abstract class in Java. It can be abstract and non-abstract method. Okay, so abstract class should be declared as abstract, but it can have abstract method and non-abstract method. In case we are declaring any method as abstract, so it will be abstract method. In case we are not using any keyword as abstract in the method, so it will be non-abstract method. Okay, from class, concrete class or abstract class to class, we use extend keyword. Whenever you want to use extend to another class, we need to use the extend keyword. So here you can example, you can see we are creating an abstract class which is the animal, where some abstract method can be there as well as some non-abstract method can be there. Like for the abstract method there will be no method body, but whereas for the non-abstract method there can be some method body, right? And I am extending to another class animals, right? And where I am simply using the method or function whatever written for the animals in the tiger class, and here whenever I am extending it, right, the abstract class, where I can give some body of the methods, right? Then if I call it using the create object or instance of the right child class object, then it will be displayed. The output will be displayed accordingly. What are the basic difference between a class and an object have? So object is a real world entity which is an instance of the class, whereas a class is basically a template or a blueprint within which object can be created, right? Okay, or class is a group of similar kind of object, right? An object acts like a variable of the class, whereas class binds method and data together into a single unit. An object is a physical entity, okay, and whereas class is a logical entity. Real time there is no such existence of the class. So I want to give a simple example of the object and class. Okay, so say class is the animal is a class, right? Because animal does not actually officially exist, but if we want to create the object of the animal class, so it will be like tiger, lion, right, elephant, which is real time exists, right? So object takes memory space when they are created. Class does not take memory space when they are created. Object can be declared as and when required. So you can create multiple objects of a single class, right? But classes are declared just at once. What is the hierarchical inheritance. So hierarchical inheritance refers to inheritance where one base class has more than one subclass. Okay, suppose in case I am giving an example of vehicle class, right? So vehicle class can extend to a bus, truck, okay, bike, right, car, etc. So one parent class is extending to several child class. So that is called hierarchical, okay, hierarchical inheritance. What is an abstract class? An abstract class is a subclass which cannot be instantiated. Okay, instantiated. Creation of an object is not possible with an abstract class, but it can be inherited. An abstract class can only contain an abstract method. Java allows only abstract method in abstract class, while other language allow non-abstract method as well. So as and when we are declaring any class an abstract, obviously it should be consist of only the abstract method. What is interface in Java? Interface is a Java type definition block which is 100% abstract in nature. Okay, so there should not be, okay, any unabstract thing. Okay, it should be 100% abstract in nature. All the interface method by default public and abstract only. Static and final modifier are not allowed for interface method. Okay, because it should be public and abstract only. Interface variables are public, static and final by default. Interface cannot be instantiated and it does not contain any constructor. So interface you can't add any constructor. Interface can be using implements keyword for the class. Whenever you want to implement interface to a class, we need to simply use the implements word. So for class to class it will be extends word, interface to interface it will be implements word, whereas for whenever I want to implements an interface to a class, so you need to implement with implements words. A class that implement interface must implement all the method declared in an interface. Okay, so whenever I want to implement an interface to a class, so whatever abstract method is declared in the interface, we need to use all the things. So partial usage is not possible. From interface to interface we can use the extend keyword. So I am giving simple example, right? So interface is bike, where all the class we need to declare as abstract class, which should not consist any body. What is early binding and late binding? Early binding refers to the assignments of value to a variable during design time, okay, or compile time, whereas late binding refers to the assignment of values to variables during run time or execution time. How many instances can be created for a abstract class? 0 instances will be created for a abstract class. In other words, you can't create an instance of an abstract class. What does it mean by the terms state and behavior of an object, right? So state, which is known as instance variables, okay. Values assigned to the instance variable of an object make up the object states, okay. Whenever we are defining some values, okay, or declaring some variable, so that is called state. Behavior, which is also known as function, as methods, okay. So method or functions are where the class logic is stored, okay. This is where the data gets manipulated or algorithm gets executed. So functions are also called procedures or method in Java, and variables are also called as member, fields or attribute in Java. Does abstract class have constructor in Java? Abstract class can have constructor. A class cannot be instantiated once it is declared an abstract class, but that does not mean that abstract class cannot have a constructor. But for the interface, it cannot contain a single constructor. Does interface have a constructor in Java? No. The interface cannot have a constructor. Constructor is being called during the creation of the object only. That is the reason it cannot have. Why encapsulation in Java is called as data hiding in Java? When field is declared private, when a field is declared private in a class, then it cannot be accessed by anyone outside the class and hides the field within the class. Therefore, encapsulation is called data hiding. What are the basic difference between abstract class and interface? So for abstract class can have abstract as well as non-abstract methods, okay, but for interface it should be only abstract method. That means that should not have any body. Any single method should not have any body. Abstract class may contain final and non-final variables, but for interface variable declared final by default. Okay, abstract class can be private, public, etc., but interface should be always public by default. Abstract class can provide the implementation of an interface. Interface cannot provide the implementation of an abstract class. What is the meaning of a is a and has a relationship? Is a relationship implies inheritance. Okay, in case subclass object is said to have a is a relationship with the superclass or interface. Okay, if class A extends class B, then A is a B. That is the relationship of B. Okay, in case any class extends to other class, so that class to be said that is a relationship with the other class. In a transitive, that if class A extends B and class B extends to C, then A is a C also, right? The instance of operator in Java determines the is a relationship. Whereas when a class A has a member difference variable of type B, then A has a B. It is also known as aggregation. What are the major advantages have in the OPS concept? So there are a lot of major advantages are there using the OPS programming concept. One, the simplicity. OPS programming object model real world object, so the complexity is reduced and the program structure is much more clear. Then the modularity. Each object forms a separate entity whose internal workings are decoupled from other parts of the system. And then next one is the modifiability. It is easy to make minor changes in the data representation or the procedure in an OOP program. Changes inside a class do not affect in other part of the program, since the only public interface that has external word has to a class is through the use of the method. Then another advantage of the OPS concept is extensibility. Adding new feature or responding to changing operating environment can be solved by introducing a few new objects and modifying some existing one. That is called extensibility. And the last two is maintainability and reusability. So maintainability means object can be maintained separately, making locating and fixing problem easier. Whereas reusability, in reusability object can be reused in different programs, right? Just like the inheritance. What is composition in Java? Composition is a special form of aggregation where the part cannot exist without the whole. So part of the program cannot exist, the whole program need to be exist. Okay, composition is a strong association in Java. What is destructor in Java? A destructor is a method which is automatically called when the object is made out of scope or destroyed. Okay, so whenever you are destroying any object, so destructor will be automatically created, right? Destructor name is also same as the class name, but with the tilde sign. So you can see before the name. Okay, so it should be the same name as of the class, but it should be like symbol should be there, tilde before the name. So what is the main difference between a constructor and destructor? In constructor, destructor have the same name as the class, but destructor have the tilde sign before the name, right? The key difference between a constructor and destructor is that constructor is used to allocate memory to an object, while destructor used to deallocate the memory of an object as and when any program or object is getting destroyed. What are the different type of argument available in Java? A parameter is a variable used during the declaration of the functions of subroutines, and arguments are passed to the function's body, and it should match with the parameter defined. There are basically two type of argument. One is the call by value, where value passed will get modified only inside the function, and it returns the same value wherever it is passed into the function. Whereas in the call by value reference, right, arguments, value passed will get modified in both inside and outside the function, and it returns the same or different function. So that's all about 25 questions from OPS concept. Hope you are enjoying my videos. Thank you.